Abhijit, do you think India is going in the right direction as far as Chabar is concerned? And could you draw a comparison between Chabar, Gwadar, and also Hambantota?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think the Iranians are making fools out of us, and we've deliberately allowed ourselves to become delusional on it. What we need to remember was that in 1979, which was the year South Korea overtook North Korea as having the second highest per capita income in Asia, was also the year when the Iranian Revolution happened, and Iran had a higher per capita income than South Korea, because they too were on the cusp of industrialization. This is a country where the Islamic Revolution effectively deindustrialized the country, not because of natural causes like happened in North Korea because of demographics, but for different reasons, a different set of reasons, which is cutting off from world trade and so on and so forth, that happened because of its foreign policy. Now, for India, I've traveled all over Iran. I love Iran. I keep going there regularly. I've danced there as well. You can see my dance videos in Iran, in Persepolis and things like that online. What you'll find is Iranian companies build fantastic roads, they build fantastic bridges, they build fantastic infrastructure. The notion that we can somehow go teach this civilization that's as old as us, and in fact had a world empire at one point of time, and had basically came up with the notion of human rights. The Cyrus seal, which is kept in the Achaemenid 500 BC Cyrus seal, is the first charter of human rights in the world. That we're somehow going to teach these guys and to build roads and things like that when they have much better roads than we do is laughable. So I think this whole notion that we were going to go set up Chabahar, the question is, who fell for this? I want to know the person in the MEA or MOD or whoever that came up with this notion that we were going to teach civilization and or as the Americans would say, democracy and civilization to the Iranians. Not going to happen. So the second thing is, if you look at what a lot of former ambassadors, KC Singh, for example, says this much more publicly than other ambassadors do, that every time we went and tried to talk to the Iranians to get access, they would keep trying to block. That was the name of the game. Because their thing is, if you support us playing mischief in Afghanistan, who the hell are you? Do you have a border there? You don't have a locus standi out there. You're not going to be dealing with the consequences, the immediate fallout of a situation out there. So that isn't going to happen. Gwadar, again, the problem is none of China's problems make economic sense, right? For a port to be economically successful, like Singapore or Rotterdam or places like that, you need to have an economic footprint of about $30 billion immediately within a 100-kilometer radius of that port. Gwadar does not. All right, the whole of Pakistan is around what, $200-300 billion in total GDP. There is nothing there to support that kind of, because now you have these Panamax and Suezmax ships which carry a lot more goods. This kind of stopping at small ports consumes too much fuel. It's not worth their time, and it makes absolutely no economic sense. So its only value is as a military port, and even there, the Chinese are going to find that distributing power when you can concentrate it into small. I like the idea of a string of pearls because it takes very powerful Chinese concentrations of force and divides it into these little pockets of power which are very easy to take out. You concentrate localized power out there, do something to it, and you can take it out. So I'm like, you want to build a string of pearls? Please add rubies, pearls, emeralds, whatever you want to it. Aur karo bhai, aur karo. Lao mere ko. That. Hambantota is a classic example of why things don't work, right? And it's also a classic example of sometimes that we don't listen properly. Because the Sri Lankans were like, look, we're stuck in a debt trap, we've got nothing better to do. It was first offered to us, we gave up on the offer. And what the Sri Lankans have repeatedly told us is, you've got these great new French submarines. You take them out, they've got excellent sonars, you can build up your acoustic databases every time a Chinese submarine comes in. You can match it with satellite imagery of Hambantota base and say that this is Chinese submarine, People's Liberation Army Navy Jia class with this acoustic signature. That's how you detect a submarine, by the way. And you build up your databases to deal with the Chinese Navy. So they're actually, they're desperately offering you certain counter products which you're not taking up. And Hambantota is a classic case. It will never be, because of that $30 billion rule we discussed. It is never going to be an economically sustainable case. But then I'd just like to finish off quickly on Afghanistan, which is that Najibullah lasted even after the Soviet withdrawal for quite a while. It was the collapse of the Soviet Union that brought him down.
Yeah.
You know, we shouldn't have this God complex that we are the saviors and we're going to, this Americanism. I love America. I will never be anti-American except on issues like intervening abroad, right? The Afghans are more than capable of looking after themselves. What they need is slightly more than goodwill, slightly more than libraries, slightly more than enabling the ordinary Afghan. It is give them military equipment to a degree, give them financial assistance to a degree, and believe you me, you will see to it that Pakistan will become the next Russia or the next America in Afghanistan. They need military help. Give them tangible military help and let them be. Let them have their own self-confidence and give them the self-respect that they deserve. Don't treat them as this white savior complex.
No, I absolutely just wanted to put in a word there what Abhijit said. The last word about Afghanistan, I think what he's saying makes a lot of sense. We are already training the Afghan army. Afghan army officers regularly train at our academies, but we need to do much, much more.
Yeah.
Much more.
Much more, exactly.
And this will be a lasting bond. It makes a lot of sense.
The $3 billion is not enough. But
It's peanuts.
It's peanuts, yeah.